most recently here, what we did is we made almost a year ago, 2 years ago, we made a key from just a block of brass for a mausoleum, which a guy had procured and decided to turn into his vault door or day gate to a gun room.
Welcome to Access Granted, a peek inside the real-life stories of physical security professionals. Now, here are your hosts, Justin, Cricket, Ryan, and Brandon.
How do you like that, Crick? We even put you in the intro.
Imagine that. Thank you.
You feel like you're somebody now?
She said, Cricket.
Oh, you like the way she said that. We had a few options, and this one was pleasant on the ears and didn't distract you too much with her tones.
Sultry tones.
Yes, sultry tones. Anyway, so today we're here to talk about keys. And like I said last time, it's just going to be a kind of a generic overhaul of all kinds of keys. So I looked something up today, and I don't even know if I said this in the last one, but maybe I did. That was a lock. But anyway, we're going to go back to Nineveh in Assyria before 600 BC. That is the first... Nineveh. That is the first lock that they can figure that they have found, lock and key that they have found. So somewhere 600 before Jesus, they figured out how to actually make a mechanism, turn another mechanism to lock something up. So, Just, you had a good description, kind of. What is a key?
Well, a key at this point is what is in modern terms would be something made out of brass, steel, or aluminum that operates a lock. But in historical terms, a key at this point is anything that's going to operate the locking mechanism, which could be as simple as a stick behind a door. So if you can take a stick and operate that bolt, that's another bar or whatever, and move it out of the way, that would be a key in that function. So, but in modern terms, a key in this point is the object that allows us to manipulate the locking device, or fits the pattern to the locking device. That people have supplanted the name key, not just from the locking industry, but now it's words in access control and IT. They use keys all the time that give somebody that you have to have a passphrase or a key. Historically, you also used keys as a passphrase, like you had to have the key to the answer or in your test. So in our industry, it's mainly just locking mechanisms, and it's mainly just a physical key. And when we refer to it at that, it's going to be a specific piece of brass, steel, or aluminum that's going to have a specific profile, and that we have cut either the side or the top to fit inside the lock to fill the pattern of the cylinder to allow for rotation.
So that being said, there's like you can go all the way back to, I'm sure they were this out of the 600 BC. I'm sure that key was probably made out of wood. Not a lot of material, to choose from.
That was the Bronze Age.
Yeah, well, okay.
Or Iron Age.
Yeah, so you may just be getting into it. So then now you go to fast forward all the way to the 1800s. A lot of happened in between then and there. But you go to the 1800s, now you have what we call a skeleton key, another piece of metal that's shaved down in a certain specific pattern to talk to the mechanism inside the lock to throw a bolt, causing the door to lock.
Just so we're clear, guys, it's not a skeleton key. That's a term that people use. A skeleton key is a specific type of key, but those are called bit and flag or bit and barrel keys.
Most
commonly. Keys mostly.
Yeah. So then you go from there. Then we'll go into the automotive. We have 1920s rolling around. We have cars now. Now we need car keys. Your first car key, single-sided key with cuts in it. Looks pretty much like a standard type.
Your first key from Ford was actually a house key, a Yale key.
There you go. Took Yale cylinders, took house cylinders in vehicles. Ryan, what are you putting in cars now?
Just a chip.
The key at this point is an encryption key.
Yes.
As I say, not a paint chip, right?
Paint chip's a good one, Tommy boy.
Because we have
My mother fed me a lot of paint chips.
So yes, these little microchips that go in there. A lot of these cars don't even take a regular car key anymore. They have like what they call like an emergency key that's tucked away. A lot of you don't even realize you have a key blank in your push-to-start fob. It's called an emergency override key. It works your driver's door to let you in, and without having to call us. You are not completely locked out just yet if your fob stopped working. A lot of those do. Behind this push-to-start button, there's a ring you can take off, and behind that looks just like a regular style key.
Booming.
I'm booming? Is this too loud in your ears? Oh.
No, don't go there. 99999.
Okay, anyhow.
Okay,
keys.
Back to keys.
Back to keys.
The key to not getting canceled is not going that way. Anyways, when you come to our shop, you'll look at we have turnstiles, we have key racks.
Don't touch my keys up on the turnstiles.
Yes,
Please.
we have turnstiles, we have racks, we have shelves. We have roughly 6,000 different blanks. And some of those blanks we keep at several thousand in stock. Our most common keys are your house keys that we keep by manufacturers named Schlage or Yale. And then we go all the way into the crazy things like automotive or into high restricted keys from like companies like Medico or Keymark by Medico. Ones we don't carry, which are also...
Or more by Medico.
Or more by Medico. There's other ones. Or Mark's high security restricted keys. The technology that we use now to lock up our houses, 90% of them are going to come with either electronic key, which would be your PIN code or your card access, or you're going to have a physical key. And that physical key can be anything as simple as your standard quickset house key all the way to a high security electromechanical key from Medico.
So we're going to talk to you about a little bit about the product and, your high security stuff, and then we're just going to tell you the do's and don'ts of having a key. Let's just start with that. Our grandfather, you know how it's been generations of dangling keys in front of a baby. Don't ever let that man catch you putting keys anywhere near a baby. He will freak out on you.
Would have. He's gone, Brandon.
Yes, yeah. He's gone? Oh, right, shit. I don't know who I'm hearing then. So he would freak out. Do not put keys in a baby's... Don't give keys to a baby. They put that nickel in their mouth. Rob, you know how dirty a key is? Which, he's not wrong. Don't put if
they have plastic ones now.
Yes,
and
they have
toys
plastic
now.
ones now too. You could try that.
Or if you wanted, we still have boxes of the old tryout plastic Ford keys. If you want to buy those, or if you're interested, let us know. We will gladly sell you the boxes of plastic Ford blanks.
And just so you know, the kids' toy keys now, Rory just got some for Christmas. Do you know those damn things have like sidewinder cuts and stuff in them now? They're not even
So not only have keys become high security, now the baby toy keys are high security.
Because it's like it's not the typical old just cut key anymore.
There's a
It's
very
all down the
small
side.
niche people that's going to realize that.
Yeah.
The industry's only like less than 10,000 people.
Yes,
and
but
so
it's one of those things. I'm like, holy shit, look at this. They're even updating
the
it
lady
for kids
who
stuff.
and this is probably being sexist, but the lady who designed those keys' husband was a locksmith.
So, as far as the do's and don'ts, first off, don't touch our keys. They are in a spot. They're very. It may look like chaos to you.
And you
but
just grabbing any old key off the board and saying, "Oh, it's probably this one."
yes, you are not.
If I've been looking at it for 2 minutes and you don't think I've found it yet, I guarantee you have not found it.
It's only happened to me once when the guy was correct.
Well,
In all the years that I've worked in the shop, that guy was correct.
That was like a 1 in a million.
Yes, because
it was instantly got quiet, which is very rare for me, because I was very angry. And it wasn't that guy's fault, but he shouldn't have been touching my stuff. But he was like, "Is it this one?" And I was like, "It's never." Yes.
I just know that there was one gal that come in, and I'm having trouble finding her oddball key, and I tell her I don't have it, and she just gets mad and just picks up one of our keys off the key ring and says, "Well, just make this one work."
One of the reasons why you would come to our shop, not only is the selection of keys that we have bigger than we're handsome, yes, is bigger than what you would find at your home store or your hardware store, but we also have individuals who are trained to operate that key machine. That key machine is guaranteed to be accurate. So one of the things that we do as a shop, you want to copy your house key, you want to copy your business key, as long as you have permission to copy it. So there are some keys that we do honor that do not duplicate. and that your key works. Our keys are guaranteed to work as well as your key. And our guys are trained enough to look at that key through with micrometers or eye or other key identifying tools to know whether or not your key is worn or any of that stuff. So in some cases, we can correct that. So in some cases, convenience does not make the sale. We are going to be more accurate. We guarantee that that key is going to work. And we have individuals who are trained to find the correct blank that's not going to compromise your security.
Versus a big box store such as like any unnamed one that you may go to locally that a lot of times they're not trained lock technicians there, and they may have a machine that's not quite calibrated, or they may not have as much experience. And so a lot of times we get many people who come who are coming to us saying, hey, we were over here, we got a key made for way more than we charge actually, and then their key doesn't work. So then they'll come to us, and then we actually are able to make it right cost effectively for them, when if they would have just came to us right off the bat.
Well, yeah, if they wouldn't, like, I've had, all of us have heard it. Oh, I've tried this key 3 times in the machine. Nobody can make it. Well, I wouldn't pay for the damn thing 3 times. That's just, why? If that thing's not cutting it right the first time, maybe it's off, maybe. But I'm not paying another $6 to find out.
Well, there's several reasons why that key machine's not going to cut your key correctly. That key machine is going to use certain parts of technology to try to identify the key first. And it only has a limited selection, so it's going to find the key that's the closest, and it's going to cut it. All of our machines are actual tracing mills. We're going to trace your existing key out, or we're going to originate it with an origination machine. Whereas their key machines, the kiosks, take a picture of your key, and try to duplicate that picture via algorithms and programming. Whereas ours, we're physically going to take your old key, we're going to put it in a machine that traces out the new key. So that's inherently more accurate.
Caveman style.
Yeah. But there's a reason why we still use machines that our grandfather bought in 1978. They're good, they're accurate, and they're something we can rely on. He's built a business on.
Too heavy to move.
Yeah, honestly, what it comes down to is just too heavy to move. That 10-pound machine, I'm just not going to redo it. But that's not to say we don't have some of the new technology too. We have automatic tracing machines that will trace out like a lathe or a 3D printer would, trace out the material and cut it. We do use those, especially on the new laser engraved. That's those keys, if you're looking at your automotive key or your high security key that has a groove down the side that looks like it cuts on the side, that's a laser engraved key or a dimple key. We have machines that will cut those, and they do it automatically. We do have newer technology, but there's a reason we keep the old stuff around, because it's the tried and true method to cut your standard everyday house key. And as we go into that, the levels of security that you put on your house, we kind of talked about this in another episode, or your business, does come down to how strong. The weakest link there are twofold. These are the device itself, so the knob or lever that's on there, and then down to the key. We've put on over the years thousands, tens of thousands of quick-set knobs. But honestly, I wouldn't overly recommend that, because the keyway is inherently it's susceptible to picking, which we had an episode about that here. It's one of the first ones most people learn to pick is a quick set knob or a master padlock. So I would move towards something that's called paracentric, something where the keyway itself goes beyond center, making it a little harder to pick. So you would put on something like a Schlage. But if you truly care about the stuff that's in your house or the stuff in your business, you should be, at minimum, putting on something hardware that what we would recommend that would either be some sort of commercial or a higher end residential keyway or hardware itself, and then having some sort of restricted keyway, something where you can control who has access to the keys. Now, a lot of people are going to ask us, why would we need keys anymore when we have electronics? And I would say that no matter what, you should always have a key override. I went to a house opening several years ago here. This was probably about 2 years ago. And the individual had put on every door of their house push button, battery operated deadbolts with no key override. And when they got home one day after work, it's so convenient. I don't have to carry any keys. There was no way for me to open the doors unless I destroyed the deadbolt. Because there was no, at the time, this lock device, since then, the locking manufacturer has provided a way to jump the deadbolt with the battery, but that also is a point of attack in some cases with the battery. You can hard reset it from that. And we had to destroy their $300 lock that they put on one of their doors to get them in their house because they didn't have key override. So I don't think, in my personal opinion, that the keys are going anywhere anytime soon.
Before we go, we want to tell you something like, I don't know, we're trying to sit and think of a funny key story. Keys aren't that funny. So we decided instead we're going to tell you about probably the coolest key we ever had to forge ourselves.
So one of the things when it comes to learning to be a locksmith is you have to understand exactly how the lock is made and honestly what it takes to make a key. Most recently here what we did is we made almost a year ago, 2 years ago, we made a key from just a block of brass for a mausoleum. Which a guy had procured and decided to turn into his vault door or day gate to a gun room. And he brought this old mausoleum lock in, and it just so happened to be that they no longer made the key blank that we needed specifically. So from old pictures and measurements that we took from a lock, we took just a standard brass stock, and we machined and milled the key that we needed. And that key was it was pretty unique. It was more of a flat steel key, but it was made out of brass. That's just the terminology.
It was thick. I mean,
But it was a thick key, but it had specific grooves in the side of it that needed to be milled down it. And you know the precision that we do for everyday keys is transcended in this case, but it just gives you a nice example of the type of stuff that we can do.
And that really is a testament to the smithing part of locksmithing that we do every day, because not everything fits right the first time. Not everything is manufactured to be compatible with other things. And sometimes you literally have to just make something. You just have to make something.
Well, that's been our kind of a talk about keys from, first one to yesterday. Next 2 weeks from now, I guess, we're going to have Cricket back one more time with us here while John's still out and about. But we're going
Blazing about.
We're going to talk about access systems next time. So if you guys are interested in access systems like cards, card swipes, cameras, all that good stuff, Justin will have plenty to talk to you about that, and we'll try to entertain you with some horror stories we've come across with that stuff. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. We're out.
Thanks for listening to Access Granted, a podcast by J&J Access and Security in association with TAG. For more information about J&J Access and Security, visit jjlocks.com.